Hello, my name is Fred Flint. I am an account manager with Ntracts. I've been in the role for almost 3 years. I came from prior positions in other companies, but in the healthcare industry where I also worked on the account management side. So I've had a good amount of interaction with frontline clients and building those relationships over the course of a time. It's a great role. I've always loved it. I like being client facing, mostly because I'm probably a people person. So I get charged and recharged out of those interactions, and I've just always really enjoyed it. And thinking about my role and what client success means and my role as an account manager in the spirit of college football here in the South, I honestly do think of my role as kind of the quarterback position on a team. It's important. You're always kind of involved in the play. So I think, look, first of all, I don't want to fumble the ball. I don't want to drop the ball at all. So that's kind of step one. But the main thing I needed to do is distribute the football to the playmakers. Think of those playmakers as our employees here at Ntracts, the subject matter experts that have years of experience in compliance, healthcare compliance, and contract management and software. So what I try to do is get everybody together and involve our team. I'll talk more about this later, but that's kind of my role, the quarterback for Ntracts as it relates to the client, and bring in our incredible team members when I need to, which they're very willing to do. As far as a typical day working in account management, there's probably not a typical day. But I would say most of the time, my day is filled with calls with clients. We've got clients all over the country, and I'm on teams with them every day, most of the day, which is great. That's my job, to kind of stay in front of them, stay in touch. And so when I'm not actually speaking with our clients, I'm in internal meetings with our staff talking about client projects. So that's really what I do all day. When I think of account management success or success in my role, number one, the thing that just comes up is what is the level of my relationship with my counterpart at the client. That is the most important thing to me, and that takes time. Building that relationship ultimately builds trust, and I think that's what we're all looking for. When I was at another role at a large healthcare insurance company, I was on the other side of it. I worked with vendors. I really wanted to work with vendors that listened to me. I wanted to feel like I was heard. I didn't want to feel like I was being constantly upsold. I had problems that I wanted my vendor to solve. So I think of that all the time, is when I was on the other end dealing with vendors. In my case, it wasn't a contract management vendor, but it's the same. All of our healthcare clients have a bunch of vendors they deal with, and we try to be the type of company that listens, that builds those relationships. We're thought of as a real partner in what they're trying to do as an organization around contracting and beyond. And we're not constantly trying to upsell them. We are trying to solve whatever problems they have. So building that relationship, building trust, which does take time, ultimately that leads to a retention rate that we can be proud of. Ours is over 95%, which we are proud of. Not many clients leave Ntracts, and that's important to us. It may be the most important thing to us. In terms of how I build relationships, to me, it's somewhat natural, I think, but it does take time, because it's great to build a relationship, but ultimately you need to get to a level of trust with people. And so I try to do that. I meet quarterly with each of our clients, so that's a minimum. So we're at least touching base quarterly, and I speak with them about how things are going, any updates that we have to our systems or the company itself, and I find out what's new with them, and is there anything we can do to help support that, and are they fully optimizing their use of Ntracts. The client telling us or telling me that they feel heard is probably some of the best feedback we can get. And it's because, number one, we have a quick turnaround on questions that they have. I try to get back with them as quickly as I can, so they know that I see what they're asking, I see what they're saying, and I'm responding. We also have an incredible support function here at Ntracts. I hear that all the time from clients when they have a day-to-day question or issue with the Ntracts system, our support team is stellar. And I really do hear that all the time. And then I think one other reasons our clients feel heard is that their suggestions to me about the actual software get put into the software. Not all the time, but some of the time they do. That feedback that we get on their system, we share internally with our product and with our engineers, our development engineers, and that gets put into the system on down the road. Measuring impact on client satisfaction, I would say it's a mix of art and science. Number one, because I've talked earlier about the relationships and the trust that's built, that is pure art, I think, at least in my mind. But we also measure, and I'll talk in a minute about how our entire company is involved ultimately in client satisfaction. We've tried to inject a little bit of science and have objective measures along with some of the more subjective measures around relationships with our contacts, things like that. As far as an approach that we use here at Ntracts, or that I use on account management, we try to be proactive as best we can. What I mostly try to do is I'm not trying to solve one of my problems by trying to get them to buy something. I am trying to understand what their pain points are, solve our clients' problems, and really just understand that. There's many times when maybe there's nothing we can do about it because it's outside of the realm of Ntracts, but in many cases that's not the case. It is something that we can assist with, from bringing somebody else into the conversation to one of our professional services that we offer. We can help them, and that's what we try to do. So it's a lot of listening, a lot of questions being asked. That's where I see my job and my approach. Team dynamics here at Ntracts. I've mentioned this throughout. There's so many roles at Ntracts that are involved in account management, ultimately, in client success and client satisfaction. We have a wonderful team here that they're super collaborative. There's no politics. I've worked at other companies where you couldn't get anybody to help you because it wasn't in their best interest. That is not the case here. People are more than willing to help. People like seeing others succeed. People want our clients to succeed, so they're more than willing to jump in. We have very, very smart employees and subject matter experts here at Ntracts that have worked in this space for decades and know compliance, healthcare compliance, and they know the technology, and they know healthcare processes. So it's great to involve those people in our discussions with clients. It happens every day, actually. And when I think of our client retention rate, I said is over 95%. It's wonderful. I think of kind of the roadmap to client success. I see kind of 4 buckets in that. It really starts with the sales process. So our sales team has built relationships and a level of trust with future clients to us just during the sales process. And then they move into Ntracts and move into our implementation phase. And that's where we're really bringing in our subject matter experts, and we build that goodwill over a course of months. And we kind of create that initial baseline of trust and engagement and satisfaction with our clients. And then after they go live, they're implemented, they go through a stabilization period where specific questions are asked and answered, dedicated support associate, they go live, and then support, which I spoke about earlier, and account management kind of takes the client from that point forward. And like I mentioned, there's ongoing communication very much daily between support and our clients. And like I mentioned earlier, the clients rave about the level of support that Ntracts provides, and the turnaround time and the availability, all the above. They absolutely love that. And then from my standpoint in account management, again, I'm that kind of centralized role, the quarterback, if you will. I work to optimize their use of the system, to make sure they're aware of upgrades to the system, new products that we're making available, and really having that ability to build that relationship, build that level of trust moving forward, and make it a differentiator so they're a long-term customer. Finally, do I think my role will evolve over time? I really don't think so. I think the things that if I'm successful now, they'll continue in the future. I'm not looking to change that necessarily. I want to be here. I want to be working with our clients. I want them to trust me. I want them to like me, and I want to have a relationship with them. And it's not just about work. I like knowing who their kids are, what they've been doing, where they go on vacation. That is important to me. I want to know them personally as well as helping them in their professional life. So I want to continue to try to simplify things for my clients moving forward. I want to solve their problems and stay trustworthy. So I appreciate your time. I hope this was good to hear from a client management perspective here at Ntracts. It's something we take seriously. It's something this entire company takes seriously, and we all get involved in working with our clients and trying to make them as successful as they can be, solving their problems, and that's what we like doing. So thank you very much.